What is going on, guys? Welcome back. This is going to be quite a long video. Before I get into this, go over to my community tab. Going to give you some plays, hopefully every single day. Betting using Novig, and it's interesting. If you look at the sports betting marketplace and you take whatever play you want, whether it's a prop, whether it's a game line, whether it's an over-under, you can go across a variety of books and you can see some have it plus money, some have it even. It's amazing the value that you can find at the same exact play for the same exact bet across different books. Novig removes a lot of that. It's peer-to-peer betting, so you do get, in my opinion, the best value possible in a lot of cases. That's why I like to bet using Novig, because you're not paying the book. Okay, if you want to use my link, not sponsored, you can use it, or you want to just go against my plays, feel free to do that as well. The discussion we're going to have today is Madden. And generally around this time, we would be, breaking down a trailer, breaking down gameplay, but it's just not there. And I think to have this discussion, we need to look at where college Madden is. And I've joked, kind of walk in a strip club. That's where this game is. It's ass. On one pole, you've got Madden. On the other pole, you've got college Madden. Ass everywhere. A lot of you came to my comment section this week and you said, "Oh my God, did you see so-and-so? Talked about the honeymoon phase. Oh my God, did you see it?" Let me be very clear. For those who talk about a honeymoon phase, you create that for yourself. If your honeymoon phase ended, then you created and stopped it. If you were willing to intentionally overlook things wrong with this game, or you're wanting to internalize hope that EA will improve its game, that is all on you. Okay, for everyone else, EA has proven that it cannot do this. They cannot make a better game. They cannot fix their game. Now, I know I've made a lot of jokes about Clint in the past, but the reality is EA Sports is getting what amounts to failed NFL prospects to work on this game. Now, again, don't take that the wrong way. They made it further in the NFL than I did, likely you did, but it doesn't change the reality of the situation. I want you to go back, a little homework. NFL 2K5 Take 2, go look at the game credits and ask yourself, Take Two is getting players like Tom Brady, Brian Urlacher to work on that game. And again, this is not a knock on anyone, but who do you feel is going to provide better feedback? Players who had Hall of Fame careers in hindsight, looking back 20 years ago, or players who barely made a roster, barely made a practice squad? That's why I've long said, check my track record. EA Sports does not need me or anyone else from this community to make a better game. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. It's the facts. They need established players, coaches, GMs. In countless videos, I have continually praised them for bringing in Pat Kerwin, one of the most brilliant football minds. Go look at his book, Take Your Eye Off the Ball. You learn a lot about football. But I also can't understand why none of what he teaches is in Madden. Right, Pat literally, as a former GM, has a draft value chart in his book that can be used to evaluate offers and trades. Any capable programmer could implement it into Madden and solve 90% of the team building issues the game has. That logic would prevent, stockpiling in one position, accepting trades even from humans that aren't logical when you compare things like age, contract term, player skills. Now, if you want the harsher reality, when we look at Clint specifically, he's spent over 10 years at EA Sports. The gameplay hype trailer still shows players not blocking. And getting back to my prior point, look, he could be the nicest guy. It does not change the reality. He has not made this game better on a consistent basis. We can all point, no matter how positive you want to be, we can all point to a specific area of the game that has taken a step backwards. And that falls on him as a lead developer. When we talk about the issues this game has, to me, one of the main issues is they do not build on things from year to year. Rather, they just remove them and then try to restart them. That is why we're sold weather 5 years apart. That is why we're sold presentation 3 years apart. And yes, to some of you, they may seem fresh. They may seem new in the moment. But when you're building on them year to year to year, you don't have to be sold things like jersey degradation and wear twice. And that's where we are. This game is days before release. The most recent trailer, when I took the screenshot, 57,000 views, 200 comments in 17 hours. If that doesn't quantify that no one cares about this game, I don't know what will. Go look at all your major creators. All the numbers are down, including my own. A fraction of what we did 3, 4, 5 years ago. And in part because, Madden in the past, they would have had several showcases of this game. At this point, you have to question it. Is EA hiding? Or are they masking this game? Because this year seems like the worst media release for this game we've seen in a long time. We got what was a glorified TV advertisement. However, I'm sure the Muppets are going to sit there and tell you it's only a 40-second trailer. It's better than last year. Last year was an hour. Listen, EA Sports is a billion-dollar company. The question is not, can they do better? The question is, why aren't they doing better? And I've said this many times. To me, it's they don't need to. Right? They don't need to market this game better. They have content creators that they're willing to have market this game for them. They are willing to sit there and collectively tell you all the things you want to hear. And guess whose credibility takes the hit when EA can't deliver on its promises? Well, it's those content creators. That's why the honeymoon phase is over, because you sold the honeymoon phase to everyone else. So when they get the game for free, after telling you how great it's going to be, you buy the game, and then they say, oh, it's not good. Who is the bad guy in that situation? Oh, that's right, it's me. Right? I am the problem, not EA Sports. If you want my opinion on another problem EA has, it's clinging to a single moment from a single game. Right? As of late, it's been the Saquon hurdle. I get it. It's in the game. Okay, I get it. We see it. However, it is a singular animation. Going to go over some of your heads with this one. Just like the David Tyree catch. Just like the Odell Beckham catch. Right? Those were moments in a game. Those were moments in time. Can they happen again? Sure. But do they need to happen once a season, once a week, once a game? No. You know what has happened each season for years? International games. Yet for some reason, when you go play Madden past the initial program season, those games don't replicate themselves. Now, I understand this year it's fixed. This year they've corrected it. But I want to bring some context to that prior point. The London International Games started in 2007. Go to my main page. My late friend, Uche Waniri, went with the Jaguars to London. It was 2007. Okay, Tyree's helmet catch was the following year. Beckham's catch was 2015. Okay, so here we are, 2025. And we're hoping the international game scheduling is fixed. It can't take 18 years to get this stuff into the game properly. These are details that impact immersion, that impact replay value, but you're sitting here telling us the game is built from real data. We can't even get a game built off variable schedules from data that doesn't change. And that's why years ago, this game would have had release parties. And I understand times change. GameStop isn't the thing anymore. Digital download, I understand. But listen, people had a genuine love and dedication to this game. And for a lot of people, it's gone. What's left is a shell of what John Madden expected this game to be. And honestly, what feels more and more like a last-minute class project turned in with the hope that the errors and the faults are just overlooked. Customers who used to care have honestly walked away from the gaming space altogether. They've gotten tired of spending hard-earned money on this low-effort product. And it seems more and more that they get replaced with a rotating door of EA's preferred customer. A child who has a parent buy them the game that is easily distracted by Madden Ultimate Team, pre-order bonuses, and they don't care enough about actual football to understand what works right and what doesn't. They just want to look at a screen and have someone tell them the game is fun. Okay, this group seems to be more content to watch creators open digital packs for hours on end than spend an hour learning how a defensive end would fit into a specific scheme. And EA makes a mockery of this in the process. They hand them out-of-position players. Out-of-position players was born from taking the tallest or the fastest players, Plaxico Burress at safety, and finding success based solely on attributes, not skill. And rather than having learned to improve its game from those faults, EA just embraced it. This is no different. Go back a couple years ago. They had the Titan player that was 5 inches, right? And they embraced it. They made video compilations of him getting animations where he stripped the ball, tackled players. He was inches tall. that helped set the tone for where we are today, where everything apparently needs to be positive, even when the game is broken. If you just tell yourself that it's fun instead, it doesn't matter. But the company is not selling you fun. Just a few years ago, Clint Oldenburg himself said that it was, quote, blurring the lines between Madden and real life. Go to the trailer for this year. Quote, it's not fantasy, it's fact. EA taunted competitors to come into a marketplace that they had clearly bought ownership of. And I know the constant response to all of this is, well, don't buy it. And I've said for the past number of years, on principle, right? On principle, it's a novel approach. Oh, just don't buy it. The reality is it's never going to be effective. For one, EA gives this game away at an astonishing rate. Outside of that, take the don't buy it mindset to other realms of life, right? People complain about the cost of gas. People go to a bar, complain about the cost of drinks. The reality is you think twice about it, right? You might think twice, 3 times about buying the game. You might not pre-order anymore. But it really does not matter when people are getting handed the game, regardless of what you are doing. And aside from that, again, if you look at it realistically, people are going to enjoy a free game more. If you go look out in the marketplace, go to Amazon, right? Paid reviews, compensated reviews are a huge problem with online commerce in general. That's all EA Sports is doing. They're giving people games to help inflate their ratings. Right? We don't have that same framework, though. If I go read a 5-star review, I don't know if that person got a game key or not. Outside of that, you always have EA directly through influencers showcasing the shiny new upgrade, this crucial roster update. Right? They make a game that looks visually different enough, whether they're using brightness, whether they're using screen overlays, whether they're using new tickers, to visually make you look at it and say, hey, it's a new game. And you're going to think it's a new game until it's not. That's why I mentioned you really don't have a honeymoon phase. You have a phase where you're trying to convince yourself the game isn't that bad because you want it to be better. As a community, understand what I'm about to tell you. As a community, there are people that want the game to be better more than the people that are working on it. Understand that reality, because I'm the only one telling it to you. You want a better product more than Clint Oldenburg wants to make a better product. Now, I know people say that's a bold statement. Okay, do you want proof? It took them 3 years to release College Football 25. 3 years. That's 3 dev cycles with Madden. What released is a game that is still plagued with the same bugs and glitches as the Maddens before it. It is a game that is built on an engine that is fundamentally broken. Layering more code on top of it does not fix it. Creating more player abilities or pointless skill trees for you to fill out, thinking that you're creating a coach that's going to be unique, it's all pointless. If you've ever told me this game can't get better in a single year dev cycle, then my response is a 3-year cycle did little more than expand the teams, change the presentation, and make it follow the general theme of college football. I want to close with this concept. 5 years ago, Fixed Madden franchise went viral. And to this day, we're still getting repackaged concepts that do not function. EA went out and made a sympathy hire of a content creator, Swami, and it was a total failure. You know, the negative person here told you it was a failure before it happened because you were bringing someone on that did not know how to program. Told you it was a failure as it happened when they sat there in front of a green screen and told you how different everything was going to be. And when they fired him, and he went back and realized that he couldn't even continue with his YouTube channel and had to voluntarily step away from creating content. Through all of that, we still have a broken game. We don't see player skills degrade like we did with Seahawks Jerry Rice. Instead, we get code where some players don't even retire. We still don't have compensatory draft picks, restricted free agents. We still don't have a salary cap that works properly. And outside of that, if you look at the depth of the game, we get scripted media questions that are comical. You never see players refuse to re-sign with teams due to holdouts, or never see players test free agency and fail like we saw Ray Lewis. You never see a practice squad player step in to fill a role or accept new roles like Mike Furry, Devin Hester. We never see Lorenzo Alexander play over the field, Julian Edelman. Instead, we just revisit the gimmick out-of-position players. It goes so far beyond this. Everyone has something that matters to them that this game is void of. It's different for all of us. Love to know your thoughts on that, though. Appreciate you watching. You know, when Madden is missing so much, they can't even show us a trailer. There's no way that it cannot be back in the week with more commentary.